So by the title of this video, you know that I'm going to be doing my first unhaul today. So rewind to about like a few months ago, I'm at work and everybody's raving over this book called The Art of Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. So like the basic girl that I am, I went onto Netflix and watched the show. And I watched the entire show in a day as I was cleaning my room, following along. As I was binge watching this series, I was mainly just focusing on my clothing, on things that are in my room, and was pretty much leaving my bookshelves alone. But so like, you guys know that I did a book haul recently. For some reason that video just exploded and I have no idea why, although thank you. And so I had 15 books that I needed to fit on my shelves. And I did a pretty good job of it. I had to like rearrange my shelves. I had to turn them on their sides and stack them that way to have more room on my shelves. And so this was the case for this bookshelf and the one that I usually film in front of. But it was just getting to the point where my shelves didn't look nice. They were neat and tidy, but it just kind of still seemed chaotic to me. And so I had the idea of unhauling some of my books. I thought this was like, I wasn't planning on doing a video for this, mostly because I didn't think I was going to get rid of a lot of books. And if you asked me like a few years ago, like to get rid of any of my books, I would scoff, because like for some reason, like back then, I felt like I wasn't like a real booktuber or like bookstagrammer or anything, a part of the book community if I didn't have like so many books on my shelves, like if I didn't have a library of books. But now, since I've been reading less and less throughout these last couple of years, I've realized, going along with what Marie Kondo says, figure out what books bring you joy and keep those, and if they don't spark joy, then get rid of them. And so I found this to be surprisingly easy. And so basically I'm just gonna like show you guys all the different books that I'm getting rid of on my shelves. So the first book that I'm unhauling is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. And so I liked the series at the time. I read this like probably late middle school, early high school, and I liked the movie, but it's just not one that I've reread. Most of the books that I would keep that I've already read are because I want to reread them again, or I either have books that I haven't read on my shelves, and this one just, like, it was a good book for its time, but it's time to be gone. Next we have Angel by James Patterson, and so the Maximum Ride series I love, still to this day, but like there's so many books in this series, and I thought that the books were gonna be done at a certain point, and then he like came out with a new book, and basically I'm keeping up to the 5th book, and there's like 3 books from then on that I will be getting rid of, and this is the first of those books. And the next book is Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead, and so I think this is the last book in the Vampire Academy series. I believe I'm also getting rid of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th books also in the series, just because I really enjoyed the first 2, but if I'm ever going to reread this series or any of the books, I'm probably not going to like reread it all. I'm probably just going to reread the first 2 since those were my favorites. So next is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I actually received this book as a gift from my dad for my birthday or Christmas, and I tried getting into it. I had already seen the movie before I read this book, and I don't know, like I think it's just not my type of book. As you all know, I'm definitely more of like a YA, like urban fantasy type girl, and this is very much, I know like it's in the YA section, but it's just, I don't know, like it's not my cup of tea. And so I'm also getting rid of The Scorched Trials by James Dashner. Next I'm getting rid of The Language of Stars by Louise Hawes. I think that's the last name. It's in cursive, and so I can't tell if that's a W or not. I thought I was going to read it at the time, but honestly I think I just bought it because it had a pretty cover and I just wanted to buy something. And so the next 2 books, they are actually together on the stack, and that is Crescendo and Finale. I think I'm also getting rid of another book in this series, but I forget the title. Does it say on the back? No. I just don't think I'm gonna reread the entire series of the Hush Hush series. So next is The Graces by, oh, there's like a piece of fuzz on here that shows how long they've been on my floor because I've been waiting to do this video and just haven't had time. Oh, also, what I wanted to say also was that, like, you may have noticed that, like, in the last few months I've been posting more regularly, like once a week or once every week and a half, and so I really wish that I can keep this schedule up, but because I started college this new semester at St. Mary's College, it's my first semester there since I transferred from my community college, so I'm really excited about that. But so in transferring, and because last semester I only took one class, this semester I'm taking 4 classes, including one of my classes requires me to do community service, so that's taking up a lot of my time as well, and also I'm kind of like on and off working as well, and so I just like hardly have any time to film even though I really want to, and so you should probably expect me to like post maybe like once a month. I'm hoping for once a month. It depends on like all the schoolwork that I have to do. But just know that I'm not leaving YouTube again like I did that one time, or I guess 2 times, but like just know that I'm still continuing to make videos. And so basically I'm getting rid of this book because it was like a book for me. I read it and I know that there's a second one coming out, and I kind of want to read it just so I know what happens, because this book like took the weirdest turn ever. So I actually do recommend reading this, but like it's a particular taste, and it just wasn't my taste. Okay, so this next book, and also it's a part of a series, and I'm getting rid of the 2 last books, and I feel like I'm gonna get dragged so hard for this. But so that is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. So I'm getting rid of this book as well as Catching Fire, and that's because, so it was one of my favorite series when I first read it back in middle school, and The Hunger Games will always be like one of my starter book series that I read, and because of that it's going to be one of my favorites. I don't think I'm ever going to reread the whole series. With a lot of the books that I'm getting rid of, I'm probably only just going to reread the first book, and that is the case with this one as well. Next is Awake at Dawn by C.C. Hunter, and I believe I'm getting rid of all of the books in these series. I think I have the first 4. I forget which number this is in the series, but basically it was just kind of a like a 3 out of 5 series overall, and it does have like that urban fantasy aspect to it, but I don't know, I feel like I've moved on from this series, and I never was really like, I don't know, like I've always been just moved on from this series. Like I wasn't that into it, but I do remember like, no, you know what, I'm not gonna no, I'm not gonna make this video any longer than it has to be. And the next book is Waterfall by Lauren Kate. Every time I film, it is like so hot in my room. Maybe it's the fact that like I just have 2 lights on either side of me that's like just, you know, bringing on the rays and stuff, and I have like every light in my room on because I'm filming this at 6:30 and it's already dark out. Next is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. Oh, okay, I was just thinking like, I was like, I've heard that author before, but where have I heard her from? But I do remember it's Strange the Dreamer, and that's actually a book that I want to read. So I never finished this book. I got like maybe halfway through, and I think it was just too slow moving for me. I'm also getting rid of Vanish by Sophie Jordan. The first book in this series called, what is it called? Oh, the first one in the series is called Firelight, and that book was actually one of my favorites. Just thinking about it makes me want to reread it again. It was a really good book. I would definitely check the first one out, and just the second one didn't do it for me. It's kind of like when you see a movie and the first one's really good and then you watch the second one and then it's like, did you really need to make a second one? So here was the other book from the Hush Hush series that I forgot the name of, Silence. So I am next getting rid of Poseidon by Anna Banks. And so, wait, oh okay, yeah, for a second I thought that I was only getting rid of the second and third book. Sorry, just excuse me, I'm just like picking pieces of lint and dust from my leggings because all of these books have been on my floor for the longest time. And so again, I read the first book. Do you see a pattern forming? I read the first book and started the second book, and I also bought the third book because I thought I was gonna just like speed through the whole series, and it just not the greatest series for me. Next, I'm getting rid of Tandem by Anna Jarzab, okay. I'm getting rid of this just because it doesn't spark any joy. It was like a 3.5 stars out of 5. Oh, I swear. Okay, so like I have my computer set up as a monitor because my camera doesn't have an out-facing screen. So thank you, Canon, for that. Just even if I'm in focus on the actual camera, it looks like I'm not in focus on the laptop, and so it's really annoying me. So I don't even know if I'm in focus for this whole video. So that's great. But so the next book that I'm getting rid of is 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. The next two books I'm getting rid of are Torment and Passion by Lauren Kate. And so I am keeping the first book of the Fallen series on my shelves just because, like with some of the other books that I have, it's a great read. I remember really enjoying the first book, and I think it actually was made into a movie. Did it ever become a movie? I don't know if it actually came out or if it like got canceled or whatever. The second one, I think I finished, and it was like, and then I started the third one, and then I was like. Next, I'm getting rid of I'm Number 4 by, what the heck? You know, I never noticed that, like, what is his first name? Pittacus Lore. Why do they have to be so big? Okay, so I feel like a lot of you guys are gonna be happy that I'm getting rid of these books. And honestly, the reason for me getting rid of them is just because I don't have space. And also, like, I feel like I'm not gonna reread them. And if I wanted to, like, I could find it online or somewhere. But so that's the 3 books in the Twilight series: New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. So I would be getting rid of the first in the book, Twilight, but I think like one of my relatives borrowed it, and like I don't know what happened to it. I am actually keeping my first paperback that I ever received of the book, and then also I kept the movie tie-in edition. I'm keeping the like original cover one because it's kind of chewed up by one of my dogs, so I don't think I want to like get rid of that and give it to somebody. But then it's like also that was the first book that got me into reading, and so I feel like I need to keep that for sentimental reasons. And you know what? It does spark joy, okay? You can quote me. Twilight sparks joy for me, okay? Next, I'm getting rid of The Bargaining by Carly Ann West. So next, I'm getting rid of Remember to Forget by Ashley Royer. So this is actually, it kind of has like a sentimental value to me, but also not at the same time. So this was the very first book that I was given, that was sent to me by an author. She was originally on Wattpad, and she, I think, self-published it, or I don't know if she was picked up by a publishing house or whatever, but so I did a review on this book, and I haven't read it since, and it's like it's based on a 5 Seconds of Summer fan fiction, and oh, okay, I thought it was gonna fall. So next, I'm missing one of these, but I'm getting rid of the first 3 books in the Percy Jackson series, and don't be alarmed, don't be alarmed. I still have the other editions, the newer editions in the box set, and I'm basically just getting rid of these to save room because I have the other versions and I don't need doubles on my shelves, says the girl who has like 4 different copies of City of Bones. Like, you know me by now. I am Mortal Instruments trash, okay? I am not Percy Jackson trash, okay? I've only read the first 2 books, and if I'm gonna read the rest of the series, I'm gonna read the new ones, not these ones. I swear, ever since I've been using my camera, my good camera, it decides it's just gonna stop filming from like after 11 minutes. I've not had this problem when I was using my vlogging camera. I don't know if it's because it's like a bigger camera and like has more stuff and it like needs a bigger SD card. I don't know where I left off. And I also had to reposition the camera, so like I may also be out of focus again. So this is just great. And I see a bug near the tripod. Get away. Get away. Okay, I just killed it. What if this was just the rest of the video? So, if you didn't know already, I'm getting rid of Graceling by Kristen Cashore. And so basically this just didn't spark joy for me. And it was your stereotypical high fantasy book, and during this time there were a lot of books like this, and so it just wasn't interesting because I read it multiple times before. Like, you could basically say that this book is Throne of Glass. Goodbye. So here was one of the other books in the Vampire Academy series that I'm getting rid of. So here are the other books in the like Shadowfall series that I'm getting rid of. And there's the other Percy Jackson book. Next, I'm getting rid of Paper Towns by John Green. And so I didn't finish this book. I haven't seen the movie. Oh, there's another bookmark in here. Okay. So there's a story behind this bookmark. So like, it's of I know you can't see that, but so like, because it's blurry, but it's basically like an image of the cast of Twilight. So this next book I'm getting rid of is Frostfire by Amanda Hawking. This next book that I'm getting rid of is The Star-Touched Queen by Roshani Chokshi. When I did the unboxing of the sci-fi and fantasy subscription box, I did not know how to pronounce this author's name, and I still don't. I'm getting rid of Delirium by Lauren Oliver. I did not finish this book. I think I got like only halfway. Here are the other two from the Poseidon series that I'm just not gonna read, and I had to buy not just the second but the third, and I never ended up reading either of them. The last two books that I'm getting rid of are, it might be surprising for you guys, and that is Linger and Forever by Maggie Stiefvater. If you've seen my videos, you know that Maggie Stiefvater is one of my all-time favorite authors. And Shiver was actually like the second or third book that I read. The first book was really good, but the second one, it was just kind of like a weird reverse copy of the first one. And then I started the third one and I didn't get very far, and it was just kind of boring. But I'm actually like really curious. I want to go back and read the first one to see like if I still really like her writing at that point. This is not even half of the books. Why? What if I just stacked it on the chair? Would that be okay? Look at that. These are all the books that I'm getting rid of. Oh, that's actually a good shot. Why did I just like turn into Goofy for a second? That would be awesome. I want to see a goofy version of all around me are familiar faces. I have so many books. Like a long time ago this would have been a good thing, but now I'm just like, help me, I'm drowning in books.